And action.
All right. Welcome to the Catch Up Podcast number 55, the number one place to feed your curiosity. Everyone has their own point of view and has their own story. I'm here with Bryan, but Bryan is the host of the mostest, and I'd like for you to introduce me to your podcast.
Okay, so we're here to share stories and show you it is possible for everyone to achieve greatness. Whether you're just graduating high school or in your mid-30s or even older and just getting ready to buckle down and get your life together. I'm your host, Bryan Sumardi, aka the Swole Banker, and today in this episode I have Monica Colbert. She's an educator and I'm really fascinated in what she's getting herself into right now.
Yay! Thanks for having me, Bryan.
You're welcome.
Episode number 55. Well, that's like pretty magical in itself. Like, whew, that number is pretty sweet. So
Tell me why. I'm very interested in 55. Why?
Well, I don't know what it is about this number 5 that has always spoken to me, probably because my birthday's September 5th.
Okay, it's coming up. There we go.
Coming up, Virgo season is here. And it's like double 5, so you just, something special about that right there. Like, it speaks for itself. So if you want to go into numerology, I'm eager to study it. I don't know it, but it's certainly something that always speaks to me. So
Okay.
excited to be here for your episode number 55. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. We can just get right into it. I mean, definitely I want to just introduce like your background. Came out here for work as an educator, right?
Interesting.
Am I wrong?
So I passed through North Carolina, but I'm actually from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, so Pennsylvania to North Carolina for school?
No connection with North Carolina, honestly.
Oh, then I am horrible.
No, you're not.
That's horrible. Okay. I've met too many people.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm number 55, like, I don't expect you to have it all memorized. And
That's right.
we're
in Pennsylvania.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is where I grew up. Yes,
Okay.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I'm actually originally born in Washington, D.C. So I've been in the area. Like, my father's lived here. I have some family friends that have always been here. And my mom worked for the Navy, and that moved us up to PA. So I grew up mainly in Harrisburg and then shot up to Syracuse, New York, and did my undergrad there and came back down to the area and been here since my graduation 10 years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what kind of led you into the education field?
It came so natural. Something about math. It's just my thing, okay? It's just my thing.
Is it because it's like logic? It's very logical?
It's logical, and I just think without numbers, you're not going to figure too much out in life. Like, I just think no matter what you're doing, no matter what it is, any and every field requires you to know the math of something.
Okay.
And so as I grew deeper into my appreciation for math, then that like allowed me to just like grow as an educator in the math field. However, just as an elementary school student, I was just intrigued by learning math. So I knew I wanted to be a mathematician, but I wasn't too sure if I was going to be a math teacher. And so in Syracuse, I was a double major in both secondary math ed and then just got a BS in math. And I knew my ability to connect with people and to help people was something I shouldn't just like let sit to the wayside. So if I was going to be a mathematician, that would be, yes, serving a greater good, but it would be more so just like me doing my thing, crunching numbers or what have you, and I wouldn't necessarily have an opportunity to reach others as much.
Okay.
So as an educator, I'm inspiring minds. I'm doing whatever is needed to serve our youth, and it's just fulfilling so many more purposes than anything I could have imagined doing in my 20s and now early 30s. So being a math teacher has been a joy, but it's my last year of it in this capacity.
Okay, we can get right into that too. That's the real part. You kind of like, that's a great segue because you said you want to scale and then reach more of the masses, I guess, starting from the youth, and now you want to almost like, I feel like it's whenever I watch like a TV show, like one of my favorite TV shows was Boy Meets World.
Oh, love that show.
Exactly. So you saw Corey's growth.
Right,
and as you grow, you saw him going from like elementary school, middle school, high school to college.
Right.
And then you just see the growth, but then it's like your growth would be educating the students, now educating to adults.
Yes.
And
yes.
like it just now makes me connect to like the intro. Like that's perfect for you
Yay!
to be on the podcast.
Thanks.
So let's introduce what you're already in as a financial advisor.
Yes. Well, licensed financial agent.
Financial agent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is your plans with that? If you can break that down.
Ooh, the breakdown, right?
Or, yeah. I mean, say just like how you got into, I mean, to me it makes sense.
Okay.
Going from math educator to financial advisor.
Okay.
What was your personal logic to getting that field?
I appreciate this question. So by no means did I ever see this as a pathway for me, although since like right after high school and even college, friends had said like, why don't you get into accounting, or why don't you become a broker? Just different things, and like constantly getting nudges from family and friends to get into finance, being as though I enjoy talking about money, okay? I enjoy making money.
Yeah.
And I like to do things to offer people new ideas for them to consider their money in a different way. So with that train of thought, I've always been encouraged to explore finance, but it never spoke to me. It was not something that I thought I could really like get into and then serve people in the best way. However, I started like as I was finishing grad school in 2020, I was getting to a point where it's just like, you know what, like I need to do a little bit more outside of the classroom, because I was feeling that urgency to like step out. You know what I mean? Step out and step up, because I know I can like certainly reach my kiddos in the classroom. I can reach my colleagues in the school, and I can reach the families in our community. But if there's more, I got to get to that more. And so I didn't know exactly what that was going to be, but I knew I had to just be courageous and let something come to me. Yeah. And that's kind of what happened. So I began looking for like just different ways to invest my money in 2020 as I was finishing up grad school. And in my investment experience, I was losing, I was gaining, I was like, it's just ups and downs, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a total roller coaster. And I was like, dang, this how it is to, get into the crypto and the stock market. I was like, oh, yeah, this is exciting, but at the same time, it could be like a little frustrating when your money plummets or something, Right. So 2021 came and I was like, no, I gotta wise up. People are doing this somehow, some way. Let me figure out that way. So I started just connecting with people. Like it just was, people were just kind of, I don't want to say popping up. Well, I was crossing paths with the right people and started hearing different ways to put my money here and different avenues to consider for me to have like my own retirement pot, somewhere down the line. I'm like, yeah, this is the kind of stuff I like. Yeah. And that led me into learning more about it, which through that I obtained my license and I got it this past February. And I partnered with an agency through a colleague of mine who connected me with their like college friend. And so it just kind of formed without me going for it. Yeah. And I just walked into the position that I'm in now of being a financial agent, but it's so much more than that, because here I am now giving people just a new opportunity to learn. And that's actually what I'm actively doing. I'm learning as I'm going through this. I'm learning like, how can we maximize our money? How can we like build something that is not going to go away? How can we pass it on? How can we protect it? Like, so I'm doing all these different things. So I feel like a financial agent or financial consultant, all of that stuff is just like that's the paper title, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's so much more than that when you actually are with families and trying to figure out like, where are you now, where you want to go, and how can we find different vehicles to get you there. So I have really been blessed in this opportunity just to see what I can do with people and for people, and even learn as I go, because I'm doing something for myself and my family as I go along. So it's been a joy, and I'm just like 5 months in, really, you think about it. So it's something that I don't see myself walking away from. And I'm just really grateful that I'm now in this, although I'm still a full-time math teacher. So this would be exciting.
Last year, though. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a true turn in the road for me. And I'm here for all that's to come because this is just the start.
Okay, definitely. I'm really interested in like what are you currently learning specifically? Is there
Yeah.
anything like a certain program that you're doing or a certain like field inside of finance that you're like, this is what I'm learning now and it's really interesting to me?
Absolutely. So much of what I learn about and coach people through is all connected to life insurance. That's
Okay.
not a happy term oftentimes for people. When they think about life insurance, they might think like, oh, like if you don't have kids, it might not mean anything to you because you don't have anything to really protect. So different people have different ideas of life insurance, but I am learning the power of it.
Okay.
Like it is mind blowing how much of a wealth tool, like it's like a magic wand. Like
Okay.
people use life insurance to literally protect their wealth without having it ever be taxed.
Okay.
And it's like it's a shelter in everything you could possibly want to do. And it's so many ways that you can design policies or really contracts. So many different ways that you can design these policies in order for them to do what you need them to do, depending on what your long and midterm goals are. And especially if you're trying to, let's say, like you have a business and you want to make sure if anything happens to you, that business is good, at least for it to be passed on to the right persons properly. Or if you have a child and you want to make sure that they have money down the line to pay off their college debt or to get paid a down payment on a home, whatever it is, like this stuff is,
You can leverage it.
you can leverage it so much. And it's like, what? Wow. Like I grew up only hearing about term.
Okay. Yeah.
And term life insurance was just something that like, okay, I learned about it at my job.
What are
like,
the two options? It's
so
term
it's
and
term and permanent.
permanent. Okay.
Yeah, so temporarily insured or permanently insured.
Okay.
And they
what's the difference?
serve different purposes. And like it's you want to have both. So term temporarily covers you for an allotted amount of time.
Okay.
And so you might have like a 20-year term policy, and that means for the next 20 years,
You're covered.
if anything happens to you, and it could be, I mean, in the kind that I do, they also include living benefits. So like if something happens to you, let's say you are chronically ill, or let's say you get in a really severe car accident, or let's say something happens and you have like cognitive impairment, something along those lines where like it's life altering.
Right.
Any policy that I put together, because this is what I believe in, anything that I design, it has that feature. So automatically you'll have like a claim that you can file, just like car insurance.
Right.
So if something happens to your car, you get a claim, you file a claim, and then that money comes to you to take care of it. So if something happens to you while you're living, you file a claim and the money comes to you and you're taken care of. So of course, depending on the amount of your policy.
Right.
So term, that's what it does for you, okay?
Okay.
Within like that year, if anything happens to you while you're living, or of course, if you pass away, your beneficiaries get that.
Right. And then permanent.
Permanent, so many different types of permanent policies.
Okay.
So many different types. But I mean, geez, it all, and that's where it's like, it gets fun to figure out like what works for each person. You know what I mean? So it's not like, it's no cookie cutter in this industry that I'm specifically in, because it's like, there is nothing that fits everyone.
Okay.
Nothing. It depends on like what a person needs, what a person wants, where they are in life, where they're trying to go. All those things have to be factored in just to make sure like this really is going to serve them, not for the here and now, but really for the long run. So permanent policies permanently take care of you. And you can have something whereas like a portion of it is just taking care of your life. If you pass or if something happens to you while you're still living, you'll still be able to get a portion of that policy's death benefit.
Okay.
And if you want a certain type of policy to just maximize your wealth, you know what I mean? You can do that. So you can get it so that the policy is growing just like the stock market might grow. Okay. And so a large percentage of it can just be for cash accumulation, whereas a certain percentage is for your life insurance. And so for that reason, this whole big circle portion of it, life insurance, the other portion of it is like wealth accumulation. That's how the government can't tax it. Because it's serving the primary purpose of life insurance.
Right.
And they can't ever tax that. So you can,
It's not necessarily income.
exactly.
Yeah.
You can make a deposit, you can withdraw, you can do whatever, you can borrow against your own policy. You can do all these different things. It just depends on what you need and what you want. So it's exciting to see people like look at these numbers and like 10 years from now, you're going to have this, or if you want a stream of income, we can design it so that you have this automatically turn on by a certain age or whatever. So it's just fun. You know what I mean? Like it's fun because it's using math in a new way for me to be able to show people like, hey, what you want in your future?
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. Let's figure this stuff out. So permanent insurance, it will not go away. Like, I mean, you will pay into it up until a certain point, depending on what like your face amount is.
Okay.
And then from that point on, you've gained so much interest that it's paying for itself.
Right.
And then it's paying you.
Right.
And then it pays whoever your beneficiaries are when that time comes.
Could you say about an average, I guess, lump sum or deposit amount that will get you to pay for that to pay itself? I know it's probably subject to or depending on what kind of coverage you get.
In the age that you start
and the
at.
age, right.
Yeah. So
like I feel like for me, when I think about compound interest, at a point when I'm at like 300,000, that's where I kind of see it making substantial gains where it could pay off or it could pay a liability or debt, monthly debt.
So honestly, it could be well before that.
Okay.
Well before that, depending on the design of the policy, and of course what type of index it's going with, because that's how the ones that I mainly design, they're called index universal life insurance policies, or index saving plans. So it's like, it just goes with, it's not an index fund, it's an index account. So it goes with the market, therefore it's gaining. And then if the market's down, it just, because it's life insurance cannot, like, you can't lose your money, like legally they cannot allow for your money to drop.
Right.
So therefore it will just be at a zero interest in a year or a time period where things are kind of on the negative side. But the average amount is $300 for someone to put away monthly for them to have significant growth in a way where they'll see it, let's say, 15 years in.
Okay.
And that depends on if you want this to just sit there and keep growing, or if you want at a certain age something to turn on for it to start paying you, because that can happen too. And that would then be mainly what's under the umbrella of an annuity.
Right. Okay.
And so those are also life insurance. So it's just the big umbrella is life insurance, and they're more fun than I ever thought.
Okay. So
you know,
you use it as a tool. That's okay.
Yeah, it's just.
I guess I want to hear too, like how you're doing. You're throwing events now.
Yeah.
Wine, women, and wealth.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I want to kind of see what you're teaching them specifically.
Yes, absolutely. So different principles of just like the way in which wealth can either be built, protected, so on and so forth. So it's literally all around different wealth principles, talking about money. Some people come in there and they've never heard about just like the stock market. And then therefore we connect that to index funds. And then we take that to index accounts, just making sure people know what's out there, what could you do with your money? And here are different options, and here's different tips and educational points for you to consider. And every event, we try to hold them every month. Every event has a different focus. So sometimes the focus could be just talking about the current economy and what can we do to protect ourselves from it.
Well, how about your most recent one?
The most recent one we were talking about just like the overall idea of thriving in the here and now. Like, what can we do right here, right now with our money? What is the state of our financial well-being? Because all of us are different in a different position. So we take time to just like sit back and think about what's happening in our financial life.
Okay.
And then what can we do about it? What can we not do about it? So making sure that we take control of what is really feasibly in our control. And then from there, seeing what is it that we might need support with. How can we find that support? Who are some trusted professionals that might help us with that? So each time we get together, we have a different thing to bring to the table, because we want to make sure that it's something of value where women leave the space feeling empowered. Feeling empowered to either know something different about their money, knowing that there's something that they can do just to better position themselves, and then connecting with each other. So it's really, really an opportunity for women to network with other women, and especially entrepreneurs. So we take time to talk about what we're doing, if there's an area that we need some support in, if there's something that we are looking for. So we do it all in that time, and we make it a good feel. We, of course, do some good wine tasting, and we eat good, and we just have a good time.
Okay. It's like biggest takeaway is supporting other business side hustles
Exactly.
and just learning a little bit more about the finance world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's been really, really a blessing to me, because I had not been to an in-person Wine, Women, and Wealth, and the agency that I'm partnered with, they've been doing this for like over 10 years. And so for me to attend my first in-person one was the one that I was hosting.
Yeah.
That was pretty remarkable, because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And I was just like, look, I know this is amazing because I hear too many people talk about it. So I'm bringing this event to Maryland one way or another, and it's going to happen.
Right.
And sure enough, it happened. And thankfully, I wasn't just doing it on my own. So I had business partners come up from Virginia, and they mainly they facilitated the event, whereas I was just simply the host.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was fun. I'm excited to have more, and it's some good stuff in the works. The ones coming up.
Yeah. How are you connecting with more people?
Just the word of mouth.
Just word of mouth.
And
Okay.
I mean, I'm on social media, but I don't have a huge presence there. But I do show up strong in everything that I do.
Yeah.
So people know me, and those that believe in what I'm doing, people believe in me. But not everyone knows what I'm doing. So when they figure out what I'm doing, and they either see it for themselves, or they're just like, how can I support you? People will either connect someone with me, or else I will connect with someone. And like, being as I know what I'm doing is so important, I have just gained this new courage to just go out there and talk to random people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just
100%.
like, that's connected me with people that I would not have in the past had even reason to say anything to. So
like grocery store.
Listen.
Target. I don't know.
No, for real. I'm for real. Like, I never saw myself being that person to just like randomly go up to someone, but I have a reason for it now.
What, you have an opening line?
I get a feel for someone, you know what I mean? Because again, that one size doesn't fit all. So I just get a feel for them. Like, one day I was at the bowling alley with my nieces and my sister, and I saw this couple. They were having a good time, and their energy was good. So I'm really attracted to energy.
Right.
And so I went up to them. I was just like, hey, I'm a new business owner, and I would love for you to join in. Like, I have these events coming up, and it was before I even had my first Wine, Women, and Wealth.
Okay.
And I was like, look, I'm wanting to invite ladies to this event that I'm going to have here real soon. It'll be the first of its kind in Maryland. So if you're interested, like, please allow me to invite you. And for the young men, he was like, oh, it's only for the ladies? You don't have anything for the guys? I said, well, not yet. That's coming. But I definitely want to first serve the ladies and give them a space to talk about money and to feel like they have the tools to really like go for it and do what they want financially. So that led into one of my first guests.
Okay.
And another woman, I saw her, she was busy hustling doing Instacart at Wegmans, and I was like, I ran into her like 2 or 3 times in the grocery store. And I was like, I'm running into her for a reason. Let me say something to her.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, would you be interested in a Wine, Women, and Wealth event?
Yeah.
And she was like, a what? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're interested, I think it'd be something fun. It'd be a first, so I'd love for you to come. She didn't come, but we've been in contact ever since.
Okay.
So and that's just like two of several, but mainly people I know.
Okay. Now, that's very interesting. I love that. Like, I think one of the first questions I think of is like, why do you think it has to be separate between like holding a wine or a women's event versus like a co-ed event off the bat?
Off the bat, I just knew Wine, Women, and Wealth spoke to me more.
Okay.
But up next definitely needs to be the co-ed event.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of guys that, but here's the thing too. And this is something hopefully I'm proven wrong, but ladies usually bring other ladies.
Okay.
And ladies usually like want their friends to know what they're doing. Whereas guys, I'm learning, And I'm hoping that's not always the case. But in my experience with guys,
Yeah.
it just seems like they're so solo and they're confident being solo. Not saying women lack the confidence and independently doing their own thing, but oftentimes ladies are like, yeah, let me bring my girlfriends with me and we can have a good time. Whereas guys, they'll show up just themselves.
Yeah.
They might have had an amazing experience, not tell anyone about it. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's slightly true. I can see that. I don't see a fault in that. But I think
No fault in it. You're right.
yeah, it's more of, I don't know. I think from my perspective too is like, if I'm interested in something, I'm gonna learn more about it myself, and then if I find value in it, then I spread.
Right.
I think.
Right. And that's where it started with me too.
Yeah.
Like I would just attend online webinars and they really, really resonated with me. And I was like, before even being licensed, I was like, let me tell people about this because like, if I'm learning this, I want to make sure the people who I rock with know this stuff too, because we need to all really obtain a level of wealth and success. And I don't want to just be the only one to know it, you know? So surely it was a need to spread the word, and women are powerful. Men too, but women are powerful. And a lot of times it's the woman that's like the backbone of many successful businesses, families, like, you know, and oftentimes it's us that have different reasons for our finances to be impacted, whether it's pregnancies or different things. So we really need the tools, we need the knowledge, we need to have opportunities to grow in that realm because usually it's a male that's been a financial advisor or an accountant or what have you. You don't see as many women in this industry. So just being able to give women an opportunity to learn more and learn more in a safe space and have some fun, that to me was really important.
Okay. I mean, I want to see maybe we can get personal on this one. Because for me, I think I'm very financially oriented. And when I think of a partner, as in like a relationship wise, I'm very blunt and very forthcoming when I speak about my personal goals. And I think it's rare. It's rare to find a woman who's actually interested in finances and has like an abundance mindset where I have this knowledge I want to share with more people. I don't know if that may trigger any thoughts in your head.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
I like to talk money.
Right.
It's important. It is like a major key in any relationship. I feel I shouldn't say any relationship, but
I
definitely
think
like
all relationships.
you know, because money,
It's
you gotta at least know
it's a
how
pillar.
you're. You know,
Yeah, it's a pillar of life to me. I think health, wealth, and creativity are my three pillars, and off of that, that's like the origins of the podcast. And I I guess I have a question for you. Is more, have you ever met anyone as interested in finances who is also a woman?
no.
Because I feel like that's the reason why I wanted you here, because you're a leader in the space for a woman. I don't want to highlight you just because you're a woman, but it is rare to find a woman actually interested in finance.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It just came as a math mind,
Mm-hmm.
and then knowing like, look, I'm trying to change narratives for my family. I'm trying to do things for the masses. I'm not trying to keep this to myself. Being as though I'm an educator, I need everyone that I serve to succeed.
Right.
Like it's a given, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So in that like heart of service, I am like wanting everyone to notice stuff like, hey, did you hear about this? Or are you like on top of that? Or do you have this in place? Like it's essential to make sure my people are good.
Right.
So I don't want a friend to fall to the wayside because I missed out on telling them about something.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't want a relative to not have had the same opportunity to really, really, really put in place something that is going to take care of their kids and them down the line. So it's been nice to wear this new hat. You know what I mean? So I was wearing it unofficially,
Right.
like all throughout my young
Life, or
adulthood.
even
So
just educating.
yeah. But to now actually have the credentials and to really be in the industry, having business partners that I'm seeing how they're serving their clients and how now I can serve mine, it has been an eye opener, a life changing moment for me, and I'm just so grateful because it's led me to talking to people like you. You know, like I would not have had this opportunity if it wasn't for us being really both finance minded or just like money minded, you know,
Right.
because it's a connection in itself when you're able to freely talk about finance with people and not have them look at you like, oh, they're just trying to get some money from me or they're just trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sell you on something.
Yeah, yeah. So it's nice to really be in a space where money talks are happening more regularly. And it excites me to know like in the long run, I'll be able to see the dividends for everyone that I put something in place for.
Right.
And I mean for them, I'm not talking dividends for myself. I'm talking strictly for them because it's like sometimes you support people and they don't always know exactly what it is that you're really situating them for. But then when it all comes out and the fruit is on a tree, you're just like, you know what? I did a good thing and I am so, so proud.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like just finance thoughts, personal points of view. Personal finance is a taboo subject,
Right.
and I'm really happy for you to be a leader in the female space to talk
you.
about that, and I want to help as much as I can to push that forward because I feel like at a certain point, if it becomes normal, then more people would be more into it, I would say, instead of shying away from it, and
Right.
then people fall through debt, bankruptcies, and the
Okay.
forefront trouble times.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Thank
Just
you.
having an open forum of just what do you think that you need help with now specifically
In the here and now,
to build your business?
to build my business really is just a matter of getting the word out there. And it's interesting that you said it in a way where like people, it's like taboo and people shy away from it. That part I personally don't get.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wish I understood the deep rooted reasons to why, just so that I can approach it from that angle, so people can like get rid of that layer, and then therefore be more open to their own abundance. You know?
I can give you one off the top of my
Please,
head.
yeah.
It's putting a front would just explain it for the first part. I have clients or I know people who ask me questions for help, but they kind of shy when it comes to personal questions. They'll say like,
Okay.
"Oh, so I have this friend
Okay.
who XYZ is in trouble, but how
Okay.
can I or how can he or she fix that?"
Right.
And at a certain point, they're just like, "Oh, okay." And like once you get serious, and I think it's the level of accountability, that's when people get shy.
Right.
It's
Right.
either I guess that's two things: accountability, and then making people perceive you that everything's okay, because nobody ever wants to be helped. I think, and I think that's an ego
Yeah.
thing. So ego and accountability are my main two obstacles when it
Okay.
comes to speaking to people.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that's a personal problem that I'm trying to figure out how to help
Right.
as well.
Right. Right. And I'm so happy you said that, and I appreciate that because it makes so much sense. And in our events, this Wine Women and Wealth series, so to speak, and I just hope it just continues to grow and flourish. I see so much that it can happen in this side of the East Coast.
Right.
But surely that's what I believe if someone regularly attended these, I think that could eventually break away.
Okay.
Like they can see like it's all right for me to be honest about really what's going on with me. What do I need to know? What don't I have figured out? How can I get help? So
Right.
I've even had those hard questions asked of me by someone that attended the events just because they felt like it was safe enough to ask.
Yeah.
But up front, you wouldn't get that.
Right.
And so just letting people and in those spaces I share my truth. Like just because I'm in this position doesn't mean that I had or still have it all figured out, you know?
Right.
So it's so much that we still have to grow in no matter what position we're in. We're always growing and learning. So I'm thankful that people, it seems, are becoming more accepting of help if they have someone that they personally know
Or a safe space.
in that, in that lane. So it's nice being the one in the lane for so many people, but I still have a long ways to go. Like
Right.
there are so many of us that still need to know what to do if we're in a situation where we have some kind of like tax situation going on, or if we want to invest in real estate, where do we go with that? How do we do it? So I'm excited. Like everybody has something that they're about to just like blow up in. And if everyone is just remains open, I think so many of us in our connections with each other can really just build each other up to be like our best selves, to really just push it forwards, especially our generation.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel it, but I really, really feel something changing in the here and now between those, let's say, 25 to 33. Have you experienced anything with people in our like generation where it's like we're pushing something forward? Like it's just like a new feel for me, and maybe it's because I'm in a new lane.
Maybe. I personally think it's more of just I try to ignore a lot of things
Okay.
when it comes to noise,
Okay.
news, anything like that. So I'm not
Good.
fully up to date. I kind of just, I guess, it seeps into my lane.
Same. That's
But
good.
I think you're diving into the entrepreneur world. Hanging out with other business owners makes you think differently, and you're gonna have to move differently.
Yes.
I was telling this person that I'm like seeing, or like say like dating, and I guess if I date anybody, I have to say like I have to warn you, being so if you ever date someone who's in the military or who has a business mindset or who owns a business, I or we have to move differently because
Tell him, Ryan. Yes.
because there's a lot of things where you think being from the DMV, you understand a lot of things are political.
Okay.
And then you also have to keep up appearances because your reputation is your business card.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I still have to handle my business, where sometimes what I say is not going to be the nicest thing. I don't know if you've gotten to that point
You
yet.
keep it real with people, huh?
Yeah.
As you should.
Because like if I have an employee or if I have someone underneath me who's not keeping up to par, I have to correct them.
Okay.
Like I have experience in the military, I've experience in the restaurant industry as a higher up. If someone doesn't do good work in the restaurant and I'm the manager, I cut their hours.
Okay.
Because their motive is money.
Listen.
And that's it. Or if I was in the military, if someone's not doing the right things, they're not going to get promoted. They're going to keep getting shitty work.
Point blank, simple as that.
Exactly. So it's a level of, as a business owner, you have to understand I'm still ground level. I'm still working with my employees. I'm still working with everybody.
Yep.
But I also have to keep a distance
Right.
between everybody to figure out I'm still an authority figure.
There we go.
And that's a big I don't even know what to say. Like I relate it to relationships where it's slightly a patriarchy because there is levels.
There's levels to it.
Everything.
Yeah, and those levels need to be respected.
Yeah, it's hard to accept. That's what I think. Like,
Yeah.
There's partners, but then there's different level partners.
Exactly. Woo-wee. I have had so many new partnerships this year alone than I have had in my entire life, I feel like. I mean, just connecting with someone for the basis of business, solely business. And then if that shifts, oh wait, we talking business, right? So there's so many things you have to make sure if you want a relationship, a partnership to really flourish in a certain area, you got to feed into it accordingly.
Yep.
In the same way you would feed into it on an intimate level is different than how you would feed into it on the business level. So partnerships, relationships, they all need to be fed, but just making sure that you know like how to separate things and then how to like give what you need, your priorities need their attention. It's just been interesting because I was engaged for 2 years up to 2020.
Okay.
And exploring last year as a single woman and now this year as a single entrepreneur, it's just like I'm out here to get it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm not trying to be selfish. I'm just like, if you're not adding value to my vision, or if you can't see it and respect it and to move accordingly, what are we doing?
Right.
You know? So
We're wasting time.
we're wasting time. And that's been, it's been a blunt thing that I've had to just upfront say to some people. And that's where it's like, ouch. I didn't mean to make that hurt, but you got to see it for what it is. And if I can't talk to you in that way where you can respect it because I'm talking to you respectfully, and then if we can't talk money respectfully, you know what I'm doing is money related, and we need to make sure we see eye to eye on some things if we're trying to form a partnership. It's just been so much when it comes to relationships and partnerships that as a new entrepreneur, I'm now being more aware of.
Yeah.
So it is changing the dynamics of some of my friendships even, and it's changing the dynamics of like my family relationships in many good ways, because it's like now I'm here also as a figure where I can offer counsel, and then I can also be just like alongside someone like, hey, we're going to get it one way or another. Even if I'm not feeding into your business, you're not feeding into mine, we're going to get it together. So it's been a new journey.
It's almost like you're demanding authority within your family. I know the feeling. I know exactly the feeling. But I think that's actually another segue too. Like, I'm just thinking about it, curiosity wise. We're in the business of building relationships, because the more people we build relationships, the more they trust us and the more they open up to us.
Right.
So I think I kind of answered my own question. Like, you do wine, women, and wealth. I actually want you to go deeper into it. Like, not necessarily go co-ed, just because that is a more safe space for women to speak.
Being amongst all women, or you're saying in the co-ed space?
No, being amongst women.
Yeah,
Because once you go co-ed, there's a lot of hard-headedness and there could be conflict and friction. And I kind of like what we're talking about too. I think for us being leaders in a field, being upfront and setting the space for people to be more relaxed is key.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but it's sad that we can't bring it together.
Well, we can. We are
can.
going to.
I feel like, so I think of it like a karate class. Like, you're not going to put the beginner karate class with like the black belt guy. You know what I mean? Like, the black belt guy is going to wreck the kid. Like, there's just so much knowledge as a making up example. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
just going to get, like, it's not fair.
Right. But let me tell you, and I love that you're seeing it that way. You're seeing it this way. The ladies that attend these events, they have sons, they have husbands, they have colleagues, they have business partners, they have people of the opposite sex who need this too.
Right.
And even though men oftentimes are independent learners of finance, they can bring so much to the table and they can learn from each other so well. And it's just a matter of just making sure that space is created also. So
it's a lot of vetting of the people. I'm not speaking men versus women in like that level. I'm thinking more of like the beginners who like know nothing and like, I just want to learn. I'm getting ready to learn, versus like an accountant, lawyer. They're like, why am I here? Type of thing.
Yes.
We have to kind of vet them. It's like, all right, you guys are going to be the counselors / I don't know. I've been to a lot of conferences lately, so like a panelist.
Yes.
So you go. I think I've spoken to you about this too. Like, having like a hotel where we have different rooms, a convention, where, all right, this room is where you want to learn about taxes. This is the room for increasing your income.
Yes.
Like that would be like a great pillar, I guess.
Yes. What? Yes, I can see it.
Different rooms for like investing.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say taxes, income, investing are your like another 3 pillar of a conference that I feel like is eventually going to happen.
Look.
That just came off the top of my head.
Make sure you write that down.
For sure. I
can see it.
Recorded.
I can see it. You know, people would love that. I mean, it's all wealth related. You can connect with people. You know someone that you'll have contacts that you'll gain from it. You have an accountant or tax specialist. You walk away with their contact information after talking to them directly. You'll have someone who might help you invest, so therefore you can reconnect with them. Like, it's so many things that can come from that.
Yeah.
So many things that can come from that. And even if you just simply had an event, panelists of each type, and people were, it's like a Q&A, or they just give like a little short spill of what they do and how it has helped people.
Yeah.
That in itself can just be so much of great value for people, just to see like individuals, and oftentimes a diverse group of individuals, just to make sure that it is like everyone is represented in a way where it's like, it's not just your stereotypical face in that role.
Right.
And that has been so key for people that I'm connecting with.
Right. Yeah, I mean, now I'm thinking like on the micro level where like everybody has their own field. Like I was at a networking event last night, and a couple of the business owners were mainly like Chinese, and it was hard for me to jump in the conversation because their upbringings brought up their parents. They were like, yeah, my parents did X, Y, and Z, so it made me a lot harder of a worker. I mean, I could say that too, but like they were talking specifically like where they were from in China, family wise.
Yeah.
And then because China is like a communist country, it's like they were talking about shared past, and it's interesting because I was invited to that group because one of the members was also a military member.
Okay.
He was an army guy.
Okay.
And then we related off of our military traumas. So it's really more about traumas that help people push forward.
Okay.
I personally think. And it's just finding places like, not to be like, I don't know, like a support group, but like I went through this, but this forced me to become better at my finances.
There you go. There you go.
If only I could make that short and sweet and like post that somewhere.
And you have that kind of story?
Maybe.
All right.
I don't know how much time we have on that. Yeah.
Can you ask me that question again?
What do you need right now? Just in general, yeah. What do you need in terms of helping your business? Like, what's your ideal? I call them avatar, but it's just like your ideal clientele. Like, who are you looking for to help?
Okay.
If you could just break it down demographically.
Gotcha. And let me even start before I get to who I'm looking to help. Who I want to help with. Because
like partners?
Yes.
Okay, so you have partners.
That's where I am more so than the clientele side, because I can't do this alone. Okay. I mean, yes, I can.
Yeah.
But I
won't get far.
Exactly.
That's the hard
Exactly.
part.
And my reach will only cast out but for so far.
Yeah.
So I need to, I'm really actively looking for partners that don't need to wear the same exact hat as me, don't need to play the same exact role, but people who are strategically partnering with me so that we can add to each other's business in ways in which like we really bring each other clients, or I can serve your people just as well as you can serve mine. So I'm looking for partners to make sure that this is not something that just stops with me.
Right.
So the clientele is really going to create itself, but as of now, it's just been people who know me, trust me, and people who trust me know that they can easily have me support people that they love. So it's really just been my warm market, let's say, and everyone that I know, everyone that knows who I know, that's how my clientele has just been growing and growing, and it's growing far faster than I thought it would.
Right. But how about, we changed the avatar for your clientele. What's your ideal avatar for a partner?
Someone who just can do their thing and wants to do it like independently along with another independent business worker. So like,
really broad.
I know.
Just anybody who can help.
Okay, so it's like, I'm not in it for the money.
Right.
And I don't really want anyone else that's just in it for the money. So it's like, what we do is so important. And I need to make sure that whoever I partner with at least understands what this is.
Has a good heart.
You know?
Okay.
Because I want to make sure that if I need to zip away on vacation for 2 months, that at least my people are in good hands, you know? So I certainly, independent learner, someone who is here to help people and here to serve, someone who has their own platform, or at least is present in some kind of space, even if it's someone that's like new to putting themselves out there, that's fine too. But I would love for someone who is eager to do this for their people just as much as I'm eager to do it for mine, so that we can just like, okay, you got yours, I got mine. Let's see how we can come together to really build this and like grow it and grow it and grow it. So
Are you looking more for an assistant?
an assistant wouldn't necessarily be. I do need an assistant. At the rate that it's going, I do need an assistant if I'm going to be a full-time teacher and a financial professional. So an assistant will be an assistant. And they can also gain tremendously in this field.
Right.
But if I can just duplicate
You.
yeah, or find others who like I see what they're doing. Like let's say if you
Sounds like you just need an employee or an assistant.
No, it's really it will be another business owner.
But no one's going to care about your business more than you.
And that's the thing. They don't have to build up my business. We can build up each other's business alongside each other. That's how this works.
But then what? Is there a specific like field that you want help in? It's like, what if I just gave you a, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Say an optometrist. Just like, all right, optometrists want to work with you.
Oh, they can easily work with me. So what they would do specifically, and if they want to work directly with me, whereas they're getting compensated for working with me,
Okay.
it will be a matter of them being what's considered an advocate.
Okay.
As an advocate, they understand what I'm doing. They don't have to know the details of it, but they know what I'm bringing to people. So therefore, they would connect me with whoever they know might need the services that I provide. And therefore, they would be compensated accordingly. Or they can actually go and do what I'm doing and dig into designing plans for people to grow their wealth or protect their wealth for their life. So it just depends on what someone wants to do in partnership with me, because there are so many ways that I can partner with a person.
Right.
It just depends really what matters to them.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess specifically, if you're looking for partners, you're just looking for anyone who can also feed people back to you,
Right.
who see the benefits or the value of you and your services.
Exactly. And then the other way around.
Okay.
The other way around. So like ideally I would have your partner, because I know what you do. So no matter what, as I serve my clients, I'm going to have someone who needs what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So no matter what, we've partnered already.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have a reason at some point, probably really soon, to say, hey, my friend Bryan, he's a mortgage loan officer, so let me connect you with him. Simple as that. That's a partnership.
So really a business owner, another business owner.
It could be anyone.
Business owner or professional.
Any professional. Any professional who has something of value that my clientele can be served with, or something that they want to bring to what I'm doing for my clients. So it could be, it should be two-sided.
Yeah.
I don't just want someone to assist me in growing my business, even though that is amazing, but I need to make sure that they're empowered to either do the same thing I'm doing, do it their way, or we just can find something new for them to serve in a new capacity that supports who I serve.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? So like a tax professional, I do need one, because I have some clients who are looking for some help in that area, but I have to vet my partners.
Right.
And so I need to make sure whoever it is that I'm connecting them with is someone that will serve them well.
Okay.
And as you know, I'm connected with realtors. And so I certainly want a realtor to partner with me so that we are able to serve people just like a one-stop shop. Like I want to make sure whoever it is that I'm partnering with, they can serve my clients just like I can.
Okay.
And that will come in many forms and fashions. And I don't really have a detailed list right now, just because I'm so new in it that I'm open to making things work depending on where someone's head is.
Okay.
You know?
Got it.
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that last part answered it. It's more just you're trying to figure it out. You're testing the field. So that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's the entrepreneur way. Just guess and check. Trial and error. I'm dead ass. It's like that's how it works. That's how I find like dating. That's how I find business. I tried being a personal trainer. I tried selling juice, Gatorades back in high
Wow,
school. I sold
wow.
CDs back in elementary
Yes.
school. I mean, it worked for the
It
time
worked,
being, but I
right.
couldn't do it forever.
Exactly. And that's really where I am with it. This is working, just me and me alone. I can't do this forever. So I definitely will need some people alongside me like, hey, we're going to get it. We're going to serve these people and you're learning while I'm learning. You might be a few steps ahead or behind me. So we're going to make sure that people get what they need. And if
Right.
that means it's with us, excellent. If that means it's with our friends, excellent.
Yeah.
No matter what, people are in need of something.
Right.
And so if I'm going to be of service, I want to be of as holistic service as possible so I can really, really support people in whatever their needs are. And it does not have to be just in me designing a policy for them.
Right.
You know?
So finance is bigger than life insurance.
It really, we know it is,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Yes,
I think
yes.
this is a good point to wrap up unless you have anything you want to say.
Hey, it's been an honor.
I appreciate
Thank
you.
you so much for having me. Absolutely, absolutely enjoyed this.
You want to plug anything?
Well, no, I really don't have anything.
Oh, okay.
Unless there is something that you wanted to ask as a final wrap up.
No. I mean, I could just say last one. Oh, I know my favorite question I always ask. This is my personal question. It's like, who are the 5 closest people that you associate with or like look up to, and how do they affect you?
Jeez.
I'm a big fan of law of attraction.
Jeez. Oh my goodness. Can I be honest?
Sure. You don't like nobody.
I love everyone.
But you're not in my 5 circle.
But I don't have a look up to kind of outlook in life.
Okay.
Like I find the essence of people if they allow me to do so. And like there's beauty in everyone. So it could be a 2-year-old and I could just see something so special in them. And that's like that I have admiration for that trait. You know what I mean? So there is no one person because as people, we're flawed and we have things about us that we're all constantly evolving. So I just respect where everyone is in their path in life.
Okay.
And I gain a lot from connecting with people.
Okay.
So I just gained a lot from this connection and I'm looking forward to more. So thank you for that question.
Well, I want to dig deeper into that. So now think about this. Think about the 5 people you actually speak to the most.
Oh.
Who are those people, if you can say them?
Okay, so the 5 people I speak with the most. My sister.
Okay.
My niece.
Interesting.
My father.
Okay.
A significant other.
Okay, there you go.
And a business partner.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked that too is because that's normally my thing. It's always going to be a parent because they raised you. You're interesting. You have family members. How old is your niece?
The one that I speak to the most, she's 17.
17. Okay. Wow. Okay, that makes another. I can relate to give you another mental model. But parents is always one. Significant other. If you have a mentor or a business partner, that's always going to be like your top 3. And then in your case, there's a method, or I learned this from jujitsu. It's I think the term I learned it from Tim Ferriss. It's a better equal to lesser mentality.
Okay.
Where in your case you have a mentor or a business partner who kind of shows you the ropes,
right,
and who you kind of aspire or you learn from.
Right.
You got someone who you're equal to, maybe your sister.
Okay.
And that point where like we're on the same page and we're gonna compete together in order for us to grow, like scale. And then you have someone lesser than you, maybe your niece.
Okay.
It's like, I'm gonna teach you all the shit that I know.
Okay. You
and then
said it.
That's how you kind of enabled to keep growing.
Yeah. Well said.
And that's like your full circle.
Absolutely. Yeah. You see yourself, your 5 consistent contacts are within that level also?
So my answer is slightly different because in regards to speaking to people, I may be in reality, I may be speaking to two
Okay.
people. And then when I answer that question, my answer is virtual.
Okay.
I spend a lot of time listening to YouTube or watching YouTube.
Same. Okay.
And I have like, I can say like a top 3 people. And it would be like Alex Ramosi, Cody Sanchez, and it'd be a tie between like Warren Buffett or Ryan Pineda.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you gaining the most from that listening?
Perspective.
Okay.
Perspective. Oh, I would say the Bigger Pockets podcast, because I am in real estate. The Bigger Pockets podcast is really about like financial independence, retire early, slash how can you get creative in a way for you to build your wealth and help others.
That is it.
Yeah, because I mean, as me as a professional, as a loan officer, I have to almost know situations beforehand. So if someone comes to me as a self-employed borrower or W-2 employee or someone trying to invest, I already know how to structure loans. The issue is, how can I relate to each person over the phone? It's like, hey, I know what you're going through. Maybe not personally,
Right.
but I've heard it through another
understand it.
experience. And that's kind of like the podcast too. So like, you're going through this, I'm trying to help you, but really I'm trying to help the viewers or whoever watches this,
go.
because they're going to relate to you,
There we go.
and then they'll reach out to me to get to you or reach you directly.
There we go.
And that's kind of it.
Wow. 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 Okay. You're fulfilling a big mission.
I just want to die happy.
Right. Is there something in life that you feel you still want to achieve in order for you to reach that point of like full happiness?
I'm already happy right now.
There we go.
Yeah, like
There we go.
it's as long as I don't veer in a lane where I feel extremely corrupted. Mm-hmm. Like there's a certain point where I feel like I am already corrupted, but as long as I can steer people in the direction that they want to go.
Okay.
Because, everyone has their own point of view
Right.
of their own life.
Right.
And I can only respect what they actually want to do.
There we go. There we go.
I find the hardest things in life is people not taking action, but figuring out what action to take. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I agree. And on that note, we're wrapping up.
Yes. Thanks, Bryan. This is great. Thank you so much.
Until next time.